video is about the most neglected home maintenance item. It also happens to be the easiest home maintenance item that you can do. And as you could probably guess by taking a look behind me, I'm talking about your HVAC filter. As a lot of you know, I have these filter fans that I keep in my workshop. They're all over the place. They filter paint, they filter dust, and they keep the air cleaner when I'm sawing or sanding. Recently I was approached by the company FilterBuy, and I remember the conversation. I was in the workshop. They said yes, it's a made in the United States HVAC filter company, and they wanted to know if I would promote their products. And I was standing right there, and I look up at the ceiling, and I'm like, huh, hey, those are the kind of filters that I use. When I knew that they were FilterBuy, and it's what I've been using for the last year, I said, sure, let's do a video. I'm going to take you to my rental house where I have neglected replacing the furnace filter, and I got an interesting story about what happened last winter when my tenants called me up, said the furnace is out. So I'm going to go show you how to change a furnace filter. We'll come back, take a look at it. But before we do that, you need to know a few things. FilterBuy has 600 different sizes, and they all ship free within 24 hours. But I think it would be great for everybody if we all posted below how many HVAC filters do you have in your house, and more importantly, how many different sizes of filters do you have in your house. You may be thinking to yourself, 600 different sizes of filters? Is there really a need for 600? Recently I was on a trip to Florida, and the house I was staying in had 3 different filter locations and 3 different sizes. You would think, geez, wouldn't they just make them uniform so that you didn't have to have 3 different sizes of filters in your house and change them out every month? They're all made in the United States. That's something that I'm looking for in the products that I promote. Going forward, I've been getting a lot of foreign countries wanting me to promote their products, and I've been turning them down, and I'm focusing my attention on made in the United States products. This one here is just an example of what I think is a somewhat unique filter. It's 20 by 25 by 5 inches thick. This one happens to be a MERV 11, which is a very good filter. You get to MERV 13 and you're getting close to hospital grade filtration. What I use in the workshop here are these 20 by 20, I believe they're MERV 8. And they've been doing great. You can see the blue on this one. It's from when I was painting everybody's favorite blue vanity. A lot of filters won't catch these fine paint particles. And the MERV 8 did just fine. It's my old garage. This is where I used to build cabinets. This is very tiny. It just fits one car, barely. Kitty, you can't come in here. You guys ready for this? Actually, it's not too bad. Oh my God. So the filter that I had in the rental house was very cheap. It's actually a leftover filter that I originally bought for my filter fans, but they didn't work, and I just threw it in the rental house just because I had to. And you can see, oh, this is nasty. I can't believe I'm touching all this. It's been in for about a month. Since that house doesn't have central air. But this is just a little bit of what it's caught in the last month. So I think an interesting experiment would be for me to go back to that house in about 30 days and we'll check that filter because it's cold. That house has no insulation. It's just got solid brick walls. And we'll check that filter. So what happened to me last March? I got a call from the tenants and they said, Handyman, the furnace keeps just cycling on and off. It won't ever fire up. Once in a while we'll hear it, the flames kick on, and then it just dies down. So what the problem was is I forgot to change the furnace filter, like for the entire winter. I get so busy that I've got, I don't know, too much going on to keep up with remembering to change the furnace filter at a rental house that I barely remember that I own. Now luckily I wasn't out of town. A few years prior to that, on a different rental house that I used to own, I have since sold it, I got a call in the middle of winter, but I wasn't able to go change that furnace filter the next morning or that evening. I had to pay somebody, an HVAC company, to go diagnose the problem, which I knew what it was. It was the furnace filter. It cycled on, cycled off, cycled on, cycled off. And the reason it won't fire up and go is because there's these airflow sensors. And when there's not enough airflow, it's not going to fire the burners and it's not going to heat your house. So I had a hefty repair bill to pay someone to go change a furnace filter. What you can do so that you don't end up like me, shelling out big bucks when you're out of town and your wife calls you and the furnace won't kick on, or when your tenants call you up and say, hey, the furnace won't kick on, sign up for FilterBuy's subscription service. So one of these will show up on your door every month. It's a great reminder. I really need to do that. Because I could totally see this happening again. But maybe after making this video, it'll imprint on my mind that every month you have to go change the furnace filter at your rental house. Please head over to filterbuy.com. I found their website extremely easy to navigate. I rarely buy anything from the internet because it's such a pain to navigate the website and get out the credit card, punch everything in, punch the addresses in. I found filterbuy.com very easy, and one big thing that I like is they take PayPal. I have a PayPal account. I got a couple $1,000s in there, and when I get to a website that takes PayPal, it's real easy. It's just a few clicks and I got my items sent to me. Remember, I want everybody to post below, how many filters do you have in your house and how many different size filters do you have in your house?